and later was later amplified by St. Thomas Aquinas is that excellence is a virtue, and that virtue is our excellence. To begin with, let us bless this day with an opening prayer to be led by Miss Sarah Jane Reyes.
Good morning, brother. Naka-share screen po.
Yes, Miss Sarah. Okay na po.
Let us always remember that we are in the most holy presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Prayer of Saint Thomas Aquinas. Creator of all things, true source of light and wisdom, lofty origin of all being, graciously let a ray of your brilliance penetrate into the darkness of our understanding, and take from me the double darkness in which we have been born, an obscurity of both sin and ignorance. Give us a sharp sense of understanding, a retentive memory, and the ability to grasp things correctly and fundamentally. Grant us the talent of being exact in our explanations and the ability to express ourselves with thoroughness and charm. Point out the beginning, direct the progress, and help in completion. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Reyes, for that opening prayer, and to lead us in transforming our schools through the power of effective class advisory systems and strategies. Let us now all welcome, with heart and clap react, Mr. Emmanuel Rentoy.
Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our last day of 3 days of seminars on transforming our schools to become schools of character. And I'm very happy to be with you again here today. These past 2 days, I hope, have been productive for everyone. And today we're going to talk about something that is very, very relevant, very important. Most likely, all of you who are here today are class advisors, or even if you're not class advisor, but if you're interested in creating a class culture, class identity, class mindset, then this is it. You're in the right place. Again, thank you to the organizers for inviting me to be with you in these 3 days. The past days, we've been seeing strategies, whatever subject you're handling. Today, we're going to talk about class advisory strategies for class advisors. Or, as I've said, even if you're not a class advisor, but you are interested in creating a class culture, class identity, and class mindset. Let's look back into our years as students. I think you will agree with me. We've had good class advisors, but let's admit it also. We have had some who were ordinary, so-so, or even worse, mediocre ones. Yung mga parang class advisor na hindi natin maalala kung anong ginawa nila. Maybe they only checked attendance and collected reply slips and collected payments for interim shirts. Yan, that's it. But we also remember we've had those who really made a difference in our lives. Yung bang pag-alumni homecoming, sila yung gusto nating hanapin, sila yung gusto nating makita. because they really made a difference in our life. They were more than just teachers. They were mentors. They were motivators, right? And so it's a choice. What kind of class advisor are you? And what kind of class advisor will you be? Today, the session is, let's choose to be the best class advisors we can possibly be. So good, so effective that we are able to transform our school to be a school of character, to be an excellent one because of effective class advisors. It's a choice. And today I want you to choose to be the best possible class advisors you can be. We're going to look into the strategies of Rafe Esquith, the author of Teach Like Your Hair is on Fire. He has been a teacher in a poor community in Los Angeles for the last 28 years, where majority of the students in that school end up failed, delinquent, or even jailed, except every single one who passes through his grade 5 classroom. Wow, how does he do it? I'm going to share with you some of those strategies. The bell rings at 7:30, but his students are inside the classroom at 6 a.m., excited to do math and English drills every day. How does he do it? I'm going to share with you his strategy and his system. The bell rings at 3 for dismissal, but his students prefer to stay up to 6 p.m. every day to rehearse for a Shakespeare play. And that production, they present at the end of the year, and they get invited all over the country in the United States to perform. How does he do it? I'm going to share with you his strategies. One more thing, all his students in his class, grade 5 class, by the end of grade 5, all of them are able to publish a book. Wow, how does he do that? I'll tell you his strategies. And most of his students, as you can see from this picture, are ESL, English as Second Language students, meaning to say they're not native English speakers, and yet they're able to publish a book. So he put all his strategies in this book, Teach Like Your Hair is on Fire, and I'm going to share as many of those strategies with you today. The other source is Hal Urban, who wrote, we also looked into some of his strategies these past days. Lessons from the Classroom, 20 Things Good Teachers Do. He's a very good friend of mine. I brought him to Manila 4 times already, and that's why I have his book. This book is available. We are selling them at half the price or even one-third the price compared to if you order it from Amazon. That's Hal Urban, and I'm going to share. I already shared some of his strategies with you yesterday, and I'm going to share some more. And then another source for this morning session is the book of Dr. Thomas Licona, Smart and Good High Schools. He's a very good friend also. It's because of him that I have the Center for the Fourth and Fifth Hours Asia, which I've talked to you already about the past days. Okay, well, our principle is this. We want to form the character of our students, okay? We are not just interested in seeing them grow up to be smart. We especially want them to be good. I mean, um, diba? We are not just, let me see, let's mute people. Okay, so that you don't get disturbed by the sounds. We don't just want to train the young people to grow up to be experts in math, experts in science, experts in English. That's good, but that is not enough. We especially want to see them grow up to be good, not just smart, but especially good. Because our principle is this, to educate a person in uh, mind and not in morals, is to educate a menace to society, which is what we're seeing now in society. You have some powerful people, influential people, people in government, people in politics, occupying very important posts. And yet, ginagamit nila ang kanilang katalinuhan para makapagnakaw, to put one over the others, to push their personal agenda. I mean, these are menace to society. What we want to see instead are young people who will grow up to be, never mind if they're not going to be geniuses in math and science, but they're good. They're men and women of character. We prefer that. Pero sabi ng research, concentrate on character and academic achievement will follow. Work on character and academic achievement will follow. And it's true. Because with character, then they will work hard, they will be industrious, they will be honest, they will be respectful, they will be kind, they will be upright. So it's worthwhile. Especially so since the past days, pinakita ko sa inyo kung gaano kasama ang mundo ngayon. I mean, this world, the environment that the young people are growing up in is described by researchers as the most pernicious, insidious, and clandestine in the way the environment manipulates mindsets, distorts values. And that's the explanation why the young people today are not as kind, as courteous, as respectful as when you and I were when we were younger. Kasi nga, yesterday we saw that glorification of the vulgar. Yan. A digital lifestyle that makes them selfish, self-centered, and vain. That's why we need character more than ever. Here's the principle. Here are the three principles that I want you to accept for us to make sense of bakit ba kailangan maging magaling na class advisor? Dagdag trabaho yan eh. Dagdag yan sa load at saka sa ginagawa namin. Ang dami na naming dapat gawin. Well, okay. Here are some principles. The first one, an effective class advisor can have the greatest impact on the formation of the students. Diba? We've seen that already very clearly. If the teacher is effective, he or she can make an impact, not just cover the curriculum, finish the textbook, but really make the young people become the best human beings they can possibly be. And then yesterday I ended by even talking about to make them the best Catholic we want them to be and God wants them to be. Especially now that there is crisis of faith. Masaya tayo dito sa Pilipinas because somehow we are still better off as far as Catholic faith is concerned. Diba? Para bang we can still say the faith is very much alive. But you know, it's not like that in other places. In the United States, they want to kick out God from the classroom. They prohibit prayer. I mean, really, this is not haka-haka. It's true. They want to prohibit prayer inside the classroom kasi raw it's an intrusion into the freedom of people. it's like not respecting the freedom of people to the point that they want to kick out God from the classroom. It's absurd. Here in the Philippines, we start and end our seminars with prayer. You know, every year I attend 2 conferences in the United States, in Washington, D.C., and then in San Francisco on character formation. They do not start with prayer. Immediately, the host comes in and introduces the keynote speaker. In their effort to respect freedom of people, they end up kicking out faith. We here in the Philippines, we're still lucky. The faith is very much alive. We're very much a Catholic country. But if we don't watch out, that Western quote-unquote value can creep into our culture. So we have to make sure the faith is alive, and the effective class advisor can make sure that students entrusted to your care will be faithful to the end, will not leave the Catholic Church, will not doubt their faith, will not reject the teachings of the magisterium on confession, on the true presence of Jesus in the Eucharist, on the beauty of devotion to our Blessed Mother, of the beauty of praying the Rosary. Uh, if we don't watch out, Western values will creep into our Philippine culture and our Philippine faith, Catholic faith, and there goes what we have worked hard on. But an effective class advisor can make sure this Joey, Joanna, and John will grow up staunch defenders of the faith, not just deeply, madly in love with the Catholic faith, but will defend it with their life. Now, here's another principle on the effectiveness or the ineffectiveness of the class advisor will depend or will lie the spirit or the lack of it of the class. And you know that, di ba? We've had good class advisors who managed to create a culture. Nakilala pa tayo sa eskwelahan, ay kaya pala ganyan yung batang yan. Nasa class advisory ni Mrs. So and so. It becomes our reputation for producing respectful students, courteous students, kind students, hardworking students, thanks to an effective class advisor. That's why sometimes ang title na binibigay ko dito sa seminar na this module on class advisory is Conjuring the Spirit of the Class. Kasi kaya ng teacher yan. Kaya ng effective class advisor yan. He or she is the one who conjures. Anong klaseng spirit meron ang aking klase? Di ba? Minsan may ganyang mga klase. Ang kanilang spirit is, uy, palaban yan. Palaban. Gusto panalunin lahat ng competition. Intrams, Quiz B, Sports Fest. Lahat gusto nilang panalunin kasi yung class advisor very competitive. Ayan, di ba? That's the kind of spirit the class advisor is able to put in. But we can also create a class na, ay, kaya pala ganyan yung class yan. Kaya pala ganyan yung estudyanteng yan. Nandun sa class advisory ni Mrs. Reyes, ni Mrs. Batumbakal, ni Mrs. Acevedo. Okay, here are expectations of the class advisors. Teachers, kung ang iniisip ninyo, ang trabaho lang ng class advisor ay mag-check ng attendance, mag-submit ng grade reports, at saka mag-distribute ng cards, at mag-collect ng interim shirt payment, hindi. Those are in fact clerical works that you can pass on to the students. As you will see in my strategies, students should be the ones doing those things. Ikaw, ang trabaho mo is number 1. The class advisor should have a full understanding and appreciation, sincere appreciation of the spirit of the school, because this is expectation number 1 for you. Ikaw ang magtatransmit sa class advisory mo ng correct understanding and sincere appreciation of the spirit of the school. And what is the spirit of the school? The school's mission, vision, and core values. That's why most of the time, class advisors should be talking in the class, to the class, about, class, these are our core values. Class, this is what we stand for as a school. Yan. This is what it means to be a student of our school. I think I mentioned to you, I think yun yung sikreto ng success of that school along Katipunan. Kahit sinong bata doon, tawagin mo, ano ang gustong gawin ng eskwelahan sa'yo? Any one of them, grade 2 kid can tell you, here in the school, they want us to be a man for others. Yan. Lahat sila alam nila. From grade 1 all the way to 4th year, to grade 12. Pati yung teachers, pati yung lady selling in the cafeteria, alam nila na in this school, we want to make our students a man for others. Or naging co-ed na, a woman for others. Yun yung kanilang understanding of what the school stands for. So, the class advisors should know very well, in the first place, what do we consider as our core values? What does it mean to be a student of our school? What is an ideal student of our school? And then, sila yung magta-transmit doon. If they don't even understand it and they don't have a sincere appreciation, then that expectation number 1 cannot be fulfilled. That's why ang seminar dapat for class advisors is a workshop on understanding and appreciating the spirit of the school. Kaya one of the workshops you should have bago magbukas ang school year is that teachers sitting down and then drawing up, can we describe what an ideal student is based on our school mission, vision, and core values? Um, I don't know if I got to say it already the past 2 days, pero I always mention this when I'm talking to teachers. 3 things I never fail to mention. Basta teachers ang kausap ko. Number 1, teachers, please do not ever use foul language or bad words. Because when we do, our reputation plummets. Number 2, teachers, wala kang karapatan magalit sa mga estudyante kung late sila pumasok ng classroom, late sila mag-submit ng assignment, late sila magbigay ng project. Kung ikaw mismo, ma'am, sir, late ka mag-report sa class, late ka magbalik ng test papers, late ka magbigay ng unit plan submission mo. In other words, you cannot demand from students something you do not first show by your example. And then, third thing I never fail to mention when I'm talking to teachers. Teachers, do not ever speak badly of your school, criticize your administrator, criticize your school's mission vision, because here it is. Your number one work, your number one job is to get the students identify themselves with the school's spirit, mission, vision, core values. Pero kung ikaw mismo ang nagki-criticize niyan, you have lost your effectiveness in fulfilling expectation number 1. That's why we have to be the number 1 cheerleader, PR manager of our own school. We have to be the number 1 marketer of our own school, always talking well, speaking well about our school, especially to our students. Pero as I always tell teachers, don't worry, you can still be a good teacher in another school, but not that one that you criticize, that you speak badly of, that you criticize the administrators of. That's expectation number 1. Here's number 2. Because we are the direct link with the parents and the students, we are the ones at the forefront of communicating with them, di ba? It's a class advisors who normally would have to write a note, write an email, send a text message to the parents. Mrs. So-and-so, let's help your son because he is failing in 3 subjects. Yan. Mrs. So-and-so, maybe you need to look into how he spends his weekends because he always fails to submit assignments. Ayan. It's the class advisor. Now, we communicate. And the parents judge the school according to what they read with these notes that you send them. And God forbid that they will say, abay, baku-baku naman ang English nitong class advisor mo. Ganyan ba ang tinuturo sa eskwelahan ninyo? They judge the school according to what they hear and read from us. So, we have to improve in our communication skills, orally and in writing. We have to improve. No matter how little, but we have to continuously improve. That's the second expectation. And then number 3, I know many of you class advisors here who have been class advisors in the past. Hindi lang kayo nag-collect ng reply slip, hindi lang kayo class advisor. Kayo din ang nag-choreograph ng buwan ng wika sa bayang bigkasa ng mga bata. Kayo rin ang nag-coach nung intrams basketball nyo. Kayo rin ang cheerleader. Pinakamalakas ang sigaw pag nakashoot ang estudyante ninyo sa basketball. In other words, you have been on top of so many activities throughout the school year. Buwan ng wika, co-curriculars, open house, Christmas celebration, kayo ang nag-choreograph ng dance number ng estudyante ninyo, academic contests, assemblies, student seminars. Therefore, expectation number 3, we need to have a certain intellectual capacity and managerial skills to be able to oversee all these so many activities throughout the year. Wow, hindi pala simple maging class advisor. Yes, now we have to accept, hindi lang yan pag-kolekta ng reply slips, pag-kolekta ng bayad para sa interim shirt, at pag-submit ng attendance and grades of the different teachers. We are on top of so many things. And in the end, if we do all these things well, we can create a class culture, class spirit, class identity. So, if your administrators are wondering, paano kaya natin magiging mas magaling ang ating mga class advisors? Here it is. These are 3 things that you can work on if you want your class advisors, every single one of them, to be more effective. But better yet, let's put in place certain system that every single class advisor will want to be effective, will want to be an achiever, will want to be successful. That's what the topic of our seminar is all about: systems and strategies to make the class advisor more excited to become the best class advisors they can possibly be, because they can possibly have the greatest impact on the formation of their students. In fact, I'm sure you've experienced this yourself. Di ba minsan, ma'am, minsan pag may problema ang bata, hindi makalapit sa nanay, sa tatay, yung teacher, yung class advisor ang pinupuntahan nila. They open up to the class advisor. Ma'am, buntis po ako. I've heard of situations like that. It's the class advisor they can open up to, not the parents. Kasi bubugbugin sila ng tatay, not the nanay. They're so afraid what the mother will do. But to the class advisor, they can open up. Minsan, mas parang magulang pa tayo sa mga kabataan, di ba? That's the concept of we teachers sometimes are in loco parentis, in the place of the parents. So, here's what the US Senate resolution discovered. If a school is a vibrant, innovative, child-centered place, if the school has a reputation for excellence in teaching, if the students are performing to the best of their ability, one can almost always point to the principal's leadership as the key to success. That's from Senate Resolution 359 in the United States. Now, that same study also found out here, if a class is a vibrant, innovative, child-centered place, if it has a reputation for excellence, if students are performing to the best of their ability, one can almost always point to the class advisor's leadership as the key to success. That's why I will say later on, if there is anything schools need now to become better, to improve, it's making every class advisor more effective. Then you will transform your school to become a better, more excellent, more effective school. Okay, let's go into systems and strategies. I'm done with the preliminaries. I hope I've put you in the proper mindset. Pahihirapan ko kayo. Let's complicate our lives. It's worthwhile complicating our lives and putting in systems and strategies. Yes, I admit, dagdag trabaho, but this will transform your school to become more excellent, more effective, especially in forming characters. Here's the first one. Lahat ng eskwelahan na pinagturuan ko where I became officer, Westbridge, Southridge, Northfield, Bannister, we always put in place, I always worked on putting in place this award for class excellence, this recognition for class excellence award for excellent classes, because chances are it's the class advisor who will make this happen. Okay? For example, nagturo ako sa Bannister Academy. It's a young school there in Libis. And instead of just calling it class excellence recognition, because the seal, the logo of the school is like this, no? May seal, tapos may dalawang lions. We called it the Lion Award for Class Excellence. Yan. And then there was a time I taught in South Ridge for 15 years. I was principal there of intermediate school, vice principal of high school. And we put in place one day, 1 year, our battle cry this year is Soar Great Heights. Yan. Battle cry to energize everyone. Okay, so because it's Soar Great Heights, we called it the Eagle Award for Class Excellence. Yan. In Northfield, our logo is like a Vinta and Anchor. Okay, parang mariner. So we called it the Lighthouse Award for Class Excellence. And then, das, you're familiar with uh, grouping students into houses. You've watched Harry Potter. 50 points for Gryffindors, 100 points for Slytherins. Ganyan, ano? Now, in this case, instead of dividing the students into houses, you divide the whole school according to classes. And the scoring, instead of saying 50 points for section 5, grade 5, section B, we would call it wings. Yung Eagle Award for class excellence. 50 wings for grade 5, section B for having zero absence this month. 100 wings for grade 7D for winning, being champions in the basketball intrams 2021, like that. No? So wings. In the case of Bannister Academy, because the logo is shield and two lions, we called it shields to call the points. 100 shields if all your parents will attend the Parents Quarterly Forum. If all your parents will come for the fun run, 100 shields given to the class. So you can assign shields, points, we like merit system for things like this. Zero absence in 1 month, 20 points or 20 shields. Zero tardiness in the class for 1 month, 30 shields. Clean classroom recognition, 30 points. For every student in good standing in a club or varsity team, 10 points for every student. So that will encourage them to join a club and to be in good standing there, or a varsity team. 50 points for every student that competes in an international contest. 30 points to the class, given to the class for every student who competes in a national competition, and then 10 points in a district competition. 50 points if 100% of your parents come for the PTA meeting, for the Parents Quarterly Forum, like parenting talk, parenting assembly, like that, no? Or attendance to fun run. You can think of any other thing that you want to encourage the students to support. Let's say we have a newspaper drive. Ayan. The class that is able to bring the most number of papers will be given 100 points, 100 wings, etc., etc. But of course, the number one thing you expect from the students is to study and study hard. Therefore, that's where we will have to set aside the highest number of merits or points. Every student making it to the honors list, third honor, second honor, or first honor, that will contribute to the points of the Class Excellence Award. 100% of the students making it to honors list, that's 100 points. Or you can even make it 200 points because that's what you expect them to do. Now, here's the beautiful thing about it. They are not competing against each other. Kasi at the start of the month or at the start of the quarter, i-announce mo the class that is able to garner at least 1,000 points, 1,000 shields, 1,000 wings, qualifies. A class that is able to garner as many as 1,000 wings minimum will be qualified for the Class Excellence Award recognition. So you see, they are not competing against each other. Any class that is able to reach 1,000 points will be given the recognition. They are not competing against others, they're competing against themselves. Hey class, come on. Zero absence na para we get the 100 wings, the 50 wings. Hey class, study hard so that all of us can make it to the class honors so that we get the 200 points as a class. Hey class, keep the classroom clean. We need those points. We are far away from the target. We have 3 months to, and then you can add. I'll share with you, for example, my class uh, compilation of achievements that made us always class excellence awardee. Submission of virtue of the month commentary, laging complete yan because may wings, may points. VOM submission mottos, virtue of the month, reply slip collection, gala attire, always complete. Tapos hindi pa yan. The principal announced, every initiative of your class can be given points. For example, we came up with our initiative of welcome newsletter. That was given 30 points. We put up our own class website. We maintained it, 30 points. We made the pilgrimage as a class to Tagaytay in the shrine of Our Lady of Pure Love in the top of the mountain there, 30 points. Enchanted Kingdom as a class outing for class unity. Okay, that's 60 points. We invited an upper year student to come to the classroom for magic show while we all took our lunch together. We were given 50 points for that. Fully booked trip, 50 points. We attended a session with Bishop Echeverria in SMX, another 50 points. We made the pilgrimage as a class to Baclaran Church, Our Lady of Perpetual Help. We had class outing. We had corporal works of mercy, Hospital ng Muntinlupa outreach, support for the prisoners outreach, clothes drive for the families of security guards, maintenance men, the celebration for a teacher's birthday, the principal's birthday, etc., etc. We got more than what we needed to be an excellence, a class excellence award winner. So the students will be looking for more and more ways to be able to get all those points, working hard to reach the quota, as you can put it, or as you can say. At the end of the quarter, the classes that are able to reach the quota number of points will be given a certificate, and they will proudly display that on their door. Now, on the online setup, they can put it in their logo, in the class website, in their Facebook page, class excellence awardee. You know, like in the movies, pag ang isang artista nanalo sa Oscars, laging nakadugtong yon. John Travolta, Oscar nominee, Oscar winner. Di ba? Lagi nilang dinuduktong yung prestige title na yon that they have won an Oscar. Well, every time our class is mentioned, class excellence awardee. In the poster, in the pictures, in the announcements, in the profile picture, they put there class excellence awardee. It works. It works. I've never seen students work so hard to have zero absence, zero tardiness, submit all the requirements on time, work and work hard to make it to the principal's, the third honor, second honor, or first honor because they want to contribute to the class excellence award. And at the end of the year, if you have more budget, the classes that are able to consistently make it to the class excellence award circle can be given a trophy, a plaque, uh, Eagle Award. So we made some eagles. We bought some of those eagle decorative items and then just attached there an engraving saying Class Excellence Awardee, Grade 5, Section B, Class Excellence Awardee 2020, like that. And guess who will keep that? The class advisor. And the effective class advisors, you will see them in the faculty room with 5 trophies, 5 consecutive years class excellence awardee ang kanyang class advisory. They do it with pride, they display it with pride because it's a proof that they have been effective class advisors. They have been effective in mobilizing their students. Now, let's even make it more exciting. Ang pangit, grade 5B. Ganun ang pangalan ng class mo? No, we will give you a name. And your class will have to vote on day one what name by which they will be known by. And then we announce to the teachers, to the class advisors, please make sure the name you choose is a virtue and then this year an animal. Okay? A virtue and then an animal. Like daring zebras, section C. Grade 6, daring zebras. We are the daring zebras. Very nice. Good. We are the hardworking cheetahs. That's your name. Good. So give them a class name, but don't stop there. Even come out with a class motto by which the class will be gelled. This is our class motto. Um, work and work hard. That's our class motto. Very good. But don't stop there. Have the artists in your class design logos and then vote on it. Let the class vote which of the logos submitted they want to represent them as a class logo. Very nice. And then don't stop there. The lower grades love this especially. Create a class cheer that you will recite at the start of every day after the morning prayer, after greeting everyone. Do the class cheer to even create that bond, that unity. We are the grade 5B daring darters. We live for excellence, whatever it is that they come up with as a class cheer. Here is the Southridge experience to show you how it works, how effective it can be when you have the class excellence award system, the class name, the class logo. The Southridge is an all boys school there in Alabang. I was one of the first graduates of the school. I was here from 1979 to 1984, grade 7 to fourth year high school. It's an all boys school, and um, they now have something like almost 1,200 students. No? So here is how it looked like when the system was put in place. Of course, these are still the pre-pandemic pictures, the face-to-face setup. But yes, it can still be done even on an online setup. Grade 6A, they chose this as their name. We are the Resolute Wolves. And then they even chose their core values. On day one, the students chose what are the top values, what are the top virtues we want our class to be known by. They said we want to be known for our respect, our fortitude, our responsibility. And then we even have a motto, Duc in altum, launch out into the deep. The words of Jesus telling Peter, launch out into the deep and throw your nets for a catch. And then they have a logo, which is displayed there. That's what will welcome the students. So that's grade 6A. Here's another class. They said they are the grade 2A, hardworking ants. Okay, that's what they want. And we have we have our core values: courtesy, obedience, order, and kindness. Sabi nila, this is what we want to be known by. You know, good parents do that. Good parents do that. When parents are able to tell the when parents are able to tell their children, iyo anak, magpakabait ka ha, dala mo ang pangalan ng ating pamilya. Ayan. That's a good parent. Ibig sabihin na paliwanag na ng magulang sa kanilang anak what our family stands for. We have to be known as kind, courteous, respectful, hardworking. Anak, Dala mo ang pangalan ng ating pamilya, magpakabait ka nun. And a class like this, the teacher now can say, okay, class, we will attend the first Friday Mass. I expect best behavior. Okay? Not because I'm going to punish, not because I'm going to offer a reward, but because you're carrying the name of our class. We have to be known as the hardworking ants who are courteous, obedient, orderly, and kind. You remember, those are our core values. You see, you make the class advisor able to say things like that now. You're carrying the name of our class, and our class stands for these values. So it works. You enter the classroom, and these are the things you're going to see. The virtue of the month. That's another system where every month there is a virtue that you highlight. And then, to make it alive as a virtue of the month, students will suggest per class what will be our motto of the week related to the virtue of the month. And that motto that will be chosen, they will write that on every paper they submit. One fourth, one half, one whole. They will have to write the motto on top of the page. I will do my task well without being told. That's their motto of the week. Next week, magbobotohan ulit tayo. What will be the motto for this week? That's what you will see when you enter the classroom. And then in every classroom, they have the 5 classroom rules. Well, this is not the topic, but that's usually discussed in classroom management. The 5 classroom rules. Kahit anong classroom ang pasukin mo, they are the same rules. So that wala kang problema with students saying, bakit sa class ni Mr. Ano pwede? Bakit dun sa class ni ano pwede kaming kumain? No, every classroom has the same expectations, the same rules. And the students even recite this at the start of every day, at the start of the school every day. Okay. You go to the corridor and there, the virtue of the month again is displayed. Here's another classroom, the grade 2C friendly cobras. I don't know how cobras can be friendly, but anyway, that's the name they chose. And their core values are courtesy, obedience, order, kindness. And that's what you're going to see inside. The brave barracudas, 3B, bravery, loyalty, zealousness. Their motto, excellence, is a habit. Yeah. And then every classroom, you will see their logo displayed. And they proudly display their logo. They start becoming proud of their class. The Zealous Colts 3C. Welcome the Enduring Ascals grade 1A. And their core values are faith, respect, responsibility. Nice. Now, here's when it becomes even more exciting. Every month, at the start of every month, they will gather. All of them will gather in the auditorium or in the gymnasium. And when they enter the gymnasium or the auditorium, they see on stage displayed there their logo, their class logo. Some class, as they enter, they see their logo, they cannot help but recite their class cheer. You see what we've done? We have created a class identity, a class mindset. And every single student knows he belongs to a team, to a class that has core values, that has logo, that has an identity. They are not just one class number, they are a team member of a class. You have created a whole new different mindset, and they are all working to be an excellent class, or at least a class excellence awardee. So, and then in this assembly, they invite someone to talk about the new virtue of the month. They're going to start a new month. Tapos na yung previous month's virtue. We now have a new month, and the virtue of the month is going to be this. So the speaker is going to talk about what the virtue is all about, and how they can possibly live it at home and in school to signal the start of the new virtue of the month. But the excitement becomes triple when Captain Virtue comes out on stage. Yeah. Captain Virtue, who is really just one of the teachers, and he will dress up as Captain Virtue, and imagine the auditorium electric with excitement when Captain Virtue comes out, because he is going to give recognition to students who lived in an exceptional way the previous month's virtue. That's the principal handing over certificates to students who lived in an exceptional way the previous month's. For example, the virtue of the month last month, let's say, is hard work. Okay, we will give recognition to the most improved students whose grades jumped the highest from the previous month to last month, showing that they worked hard. But the greater excitement for the students is being able to shake the hands of Captain Virtue. Some of them couldn't help but want to embrace Captain Virtue, have their picture taken with Captain Virtue, which they will proudly pass on to their parents. And the parents will proudly post that in their um, social media. So, or for example, the virtue of the month last month is sincerity. Paano natin bibigyan ng recognition yan? Students who turned over lost and found items. Yan. That means they were sincere. They were honest. They didn't keep that 50 peso bill that they found on the floor. That's sincerity. So you have to creatively look for how can we give recognition to those who live the virtue of the month in an exceptional way. In the case of this Southridge grade school, they went even beyond that. They made the students have their class shirt, which they will wear during the assembly. And that will even strengthen more the class spirit, class identity, class mindset, class culture. And then the exciting part is somebody in the class, in the officers in the school, among the school officers, will give an update the status of the class excellence award this month. So far as of this day, grade 1A enduring ASCALs has compiled 900 points. And you imagine the enduring ASCALs class celebrating, cheering. And then grade 2C has 1,200 points. You imagine how even more louder the cheering is of the class. And the grade 6C friendly Cobras have 800, lower than everyone. And you imagine the feelings of, I mean, the jeering. But as I said, they're not competing against each other. They are competing against themselves. And this class with the lowest number of points now will be motivated to, let's catch up. We cannot be the lowest again next month. It works. It works. It gets the students excited, doing good things, doing good initiatives to be able to merit the class excellence recognition. It's a system that if you put in place can mobilize students, student leaders, and the class advisors. It works. It really works. I've seen it transform a school that was just going through the motion day after day. Students are bored, they are not challenged, they're not motivated, and then suddenly they have a name, they have a cheer, they are working towards the same goal, and it makes them really um, think as team players, not just one class number in a class of 40, 50 students. They are part of a team that is working towards becoming a class, an excellent class. Okay, the time is 9:26. I've been talking for 56 minutes. Time for a bit of a break. I'm just going to, again, just show you a little video, one song, and When we come back from some of you may need to go to the washroom, get your water, or just simply rest a bit. So meanwhile, let me show you this one beautiful song that is dedicated to all of you, dear teachers, as our break. Okay, I guess that's a good enough rest for all of us. We can resume. We now go to the strategies of Rafe Esquith, that teacher I talked about earlier, and one of the best teachers in the world today. I got to meet him, and I wanted to invite him to the Philippines, but when I received this email, he said, "Yeah, $20,000 per talk. That's 1 million pesos." So I said, "It's okay, never mind. I'll just read your book and memorize it and give seminars to people about it so they don't have to pay 1 million." Okay, so here's Rafe Esquith, and the title of his book is Teach Like Your Hair is on Fire, The Methods and Madness in Room 56. Okay, Methods and Madness. In fact, that's why he says at a certain point, okay, I've finished talking about the methods. Now, from this chapter on, it's madness. It's only crazy teachers who are crazy enough. It's only for teachers who are crazy enough to go beyond the minimum and to do the extra mile for the sake of their students. And some of these strategies are really madness, but they are responsible, these strategies are responsible for why his students, all his students, end up in Stanford, Harvard, Yale, or either other top Ivy League schools. And all of them are highly successful professionals, um, because he taught them in grade 5. And many of them are very grateful for what Rafe Esquith has done to them. So this is what he did one day. He um, tried to think about the question, bakit minsan very powerful ang aking impact on the students? Minsan, not very powerful. It's just so-so. He tried to answer that question. When are we teachers able to make the greatest impact? And you know what he discovered? He discovered that we, teachers, are able to make the greatest impact on the lives of our students when we teach them life skills. Skills they will need for the rest of their life. Not just skill to pass a quiz tomorrow, to pass a quiz, a test next week, to pass the subject, but to skills that they will need for the rest of their life. That is when we are able to make the greatest impact. And so he sat down one day to devise a system in his class by which he can teach them life skills. Now, his classroom is what we call self-contained classroom. He's the only teacher from morning to afternoon, from the first subject to the end, including recess and lunch. He's the only teacher there. All subjects he would teach in that grade 5 class. It's a self-contained classroom. And so he came up with a system by which he can teach his students life skills. And here's how it works. Day 1, after welcoming the students, after introducing himself and getting the students to know each other, he would tell them, okay, class, here in our classroom, we have an economic system. Okay? Economic system. The chair you're occupying, you have to pay a monthly rental. You have to pay monthly rent for the chair that you're sitting on. And if you don't get to pay, you sit on the floor. Tama nga naman, ano? Life skill. Kung hindi ka makabayad ng renta sa apartment, you have to get out. You cannot stay. The closer that seat to the teacher, the more expensive. Yan. Okay? Now, don't worry. You can earn a salary if you have a job. And so here it is, day 1. He's going to distribute to the students job application forms, real job application forms that someday, itong mga batang to, when they will look for a job, they will fill up the same form. That's why they will think, ay, madali na to. Nagawa ko na to nung grade 5 kay Mr. Esquith's class. And here are some job openings with corresponding salaries. You see, in life, if you don't have a job, gutom ka. Wala kang, hindi ka mabubuhay. So, he makes them understand that you have to work to be able to get a salary so that you have money to pay for the monthly rental of the chair so that you will not have to sit on the floor. Okay? By the way, here when we talk of money, it's either Mickey Mouse money, Monopoly money, or money, in his case, because he's been doing this for decades, nag-print out na siya ng kanyang sariling currency in room 56. Yan. So here are the job openings you can apply for with the corresponding salaries. You can apply as banker, salary $600 a month, because for every 5 students, one will be a banker, taking care of the savings of 4 others, keeping track of their earnings and their deductions, their fines, or extra money income. Now, if you're going to apply as a banker, you need to present 2 recommendation letters from past teachers who will make sure or attest that you will not steal money, that you are an upright person, and that you will not be a thief. Grade 5, day 1, and they are learning. Someday they will need a recommendation letter, someone to attest to their uprightness. How I wish all students grow up with this mindset that someday they will need someone to attest to their integrity, and they better therefore live an upright life. Okay, that's the first job opening. Here's another job opening, and it's the highest paying job of them all. Salary is even higher than that of the banker. Janitor, $650. Wow, day 1, and the students are learning. It's not the position, it's not the title, it's the service that you give that gives value to your work. That's why the classroom of Rafe is spick and span, always clean and orderly, because there are janitors being paid to do that job. Here's another job opening, graders. Nung sinabi ko kaninang umaga, ng kaninang start, the bell will ring at 7:30 for the start of the classes. But the students are there at 6 a.m., excited to do math, English, and spelling drills. Some of you maybe were thinking, ay grabe, dagdag trabaho. Yung checking lang ng drills na yon, recording lang, that's a lot of work. No, there are graders who are paid to do that job, keeping track of the grades of the students in the drills, checking them and recording them. The teacher just has to make sure there are many of those worksheets available for them. There are graders who are paid to do that job. So it's another job opening. Here's another job opening, messenger, because sometimes we need to send somebody to the office to get a material, to call the other teacher, etc. We need a messenger. Here's another job opening, police officer. Para kahit walang teacher sa loob ng classroom, no problem. There are police officers in the 4 districts of the class. The classroom will be divided into 4 districts. 4 districts. Each district, there is 1 police officer who has to keep order and discipline. Ang galing. Kahit walang teacher, walang problema. Police officers take over. Here's another job opening, video monitor. Because Rafe believes in the power of media, videos, movies. Di ba? Sometimes you watch a movie and it can be life-changing. Ang lakas ng impact, ang lakas ng lesson, especially on life. He keeps a library of those videos, life-changing, wholesome, clean movies. And students can borrow over the weekend, and then they have to return with answers to 3 questions that will bring out the life lessons about the movie. So we need somebody to be on top of that. We need a video monitor, $575 a month salary. Here's another job opening, recycler, the glamorous name for garbage man. Here's another job opening, attendance monitor. But he warns them, class, this is the most boring job of them all because nobody wants to be absent. Nobody is late. Everyone is there by 6 a.m. But anyway, we need someone to be on top of that. You see, hindi dapat yan ang ginagawa ng class advisor. Kayang gawin yan ng estudyante. Kahit grade 5 student, kayang gawin yan. And $475 a month salary for him. Here's another job opening, clerk. Parang secretary to the faculty, to the teacher, keeping order in the teacher's area, making sure the materials are orderly and clean, making sure that that are always available worksheets for the morning drills. Clerk. Here's another job opening, librarian, because Rafe Esquith would have his own library of books because he would make students write book reports every other week. Kaya pala lahat sila nakaka-publish ng book by the end of the year. Just compile all those book reports they're able to write. That's one book already. But some of them go beyond that. They write a real original book and gets to publish it. Amazing. So we need a librarian. Now, you can come up with other job openings you can think of. Here is the seat rental. The front of the room, closest to the teacher, the most expensive, $1,000 a month. Let's call this Bel Air. Yan. Sa gitna, a little less expensive, $750 monthly rental. Let's call it Beverly Hills. Near the video library, let's call it Hollywood, $700. And near the water fountain, $675. Let's call it Santa Monica. Tapos yung pinakamalayo sa teacher, let's call it Skid Row. That's back of the room. $550 lang. What do you notice? The monthly rental of the chair is even more expensive, is even bigger than the monthly salary. Life lesson, di ba? I mean, that's how life is. Don't expect to be able to buy a house just with your salary. You need to earn extra income. You need to look for other sources of income. So, the arrangement is if you pay the banker 3 times of your monthly rental, for example, yung upuan mo nasa harap, if you pay the banker $3,000, you own the chair, you don't need to pay monthly rental anymore. Life lesson. It's better to own than to rent. Now, putting it in Philippine setting, dito ang Shangri-La. Ayan. Dito sa gitna, Rustans. Tapos dyan, SM. Saan ka nakaupo ngayon? Doon ako sa Lianas. Wala akong pera eh. Doon ako sa... Yun lang ang afford ko. Yun lang ang kaya ng budget ko. So, you can creatively, name the rows accordingly. But you cannot rely on your salary alone. Here are bonus money, ways. Sorry about that. I was logged out. I'm back. I don't know what happened. I'm here up in Makiling. Sir Reyes, you can hear me now?
Yes po, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me see. Is this where I was logged out? Were you able to? Yeah.
Yes, but it would be the next slide, sir.
But you heard my explanation of the bonus money?
No, not yet, sir.
Not yet. Okay.
On the previous slides.
Let me see. So, we're here.
There. Yes.
This was
sir.
the last one. And then I logged out. Okay. So,
That's where you were cut
sorry.
off.
Can you hear me now? How's
Yes,
my
sir.
signal? Clear? You can hear me
Yes
clear?
po.
Okay. So then, but there are other ways. Let me see. Huh? I will spotlight. Great. Okay, well, it happens, no? Internet problems like this, even if our internet here is supposed to be very strong, very powerful. That's why I was telling you on day one, please be very forgiving with yourself. Don't get angry, frustrated that these things happen. It does happen. And when it does happen, well, we just pray and continue on. So I was talking about the seat rental, di ba? I was saying the seat rental, ba? Mas malaki pa kesa dun sa salary because that's how life is. But there are ways by which you can earn extra income. And here it is. You can earn extra money. Let's call them bonus money. $50 if you get perfect in the drills. And it becomes $100 if you do it three in a row. Three perfect scores in the drill. Or the banker will give you $50 to your account if you get 90% on any other test. But if you get 100%, if you get a perfect score on any other test, the banker will credit $200 to your account. If you complete a weekend video assignment, $50 for every movie. So some students, hindi sila mag-uuwi ng isa lang over the weekend. They will bring home 3 life-changing movies. Para pagbalik nila ng Monday, they return the videos with the answers to the 3 questions that will bring out life lessons, and they will have $150 credited by the banker to their account. Perfect attendance for the month, $100. Kaya no one wants to be absent. Coming to school early for extra math for every single day that you come, $100. Staying after school for Shakespeare, $100 every time you attend the rehearsal. Joining the school orchestra, $100 bonus money. Joining school chorus, $100. Playing the guitar with the teacher during recess or lunch. That's why by the end of grade 5, lahat ng estudyante ni Rafe knows how to play the guitar or the keyboard or both by the end of grade 5. No wonder it's life-changing for them. They cannot forget the grade 5. But the highest is reserved for being complimented by another teacher, especially for kindness, courtesy, and good manners. $200 bonus money. So some of them become so rich, they're able to buy their chair. Kasi nga, if you pay the banker 3 times the monthly rental, you own the chair. It's better to own than to rent. Some of them become so rich, they buy the chair of their classmate. So that every month they say, okay, now pay the monthly rental. Grade 5, and they learn entrepreneurial spirit. That's bonus money. Pero meron ding mga fines. Like this, tardiness, $50 fine. Missing homework, you don't get to submit, $50 fine. Rudeness, because you're not listening while someone is reciting, talking, $50 fine. Messy desk, because the police every now and then would organize a raid checking on the desks of the students. If your desk is messy, $100 fine. But again, the highest deduction is reserved for the opposite of goodness: dishonesty, cheating, um, plagiarizing, cut and pasting. That's $500 fine. So all these teach the students hard work, and they are motivated to be perfect attendance, to study hard and get 100% in every test. But let me just remind you, Rafe Esquith was also the one who talked about the 6 levels of moral development, okay? And his objective is always to make the students work towards achieving the 6th level of moral development. And what is the highest level of moral development according to Kohlberg? I live by principles. I have a personal code of behavior and I live by it. because some schools around the world adapted this um, economic system without the sixth level of moral development. This system can breed greed, can make the students greedy for money if it is not put side by side with character formation, if it is not put side by side with the highest level of moral development, which is I follow a code of principle, I live by it, I live by principle, which is what I explained earlier. Class, I expect best behavior, not because I will punish, that's level one, not because I'm offering a reward, that's level two, not because you're just trying to please me, that's level three, not because I'm just asking you to follow rules, that's level four, and not just because I want you to be considerate of other people, but because you carry the name of our class. And we have core values, and we live by those principles and by those values. That's sixth level of moral development. And that's what Rafe tries to do, make them behave because they have a personal code of behavior and they live by it. So this economic system put side by side with a sixth level of moral development, it works. It works. It gets the students excited to be doing good. I mean, I love a school where students are working and working hard, doing good. That's Rafe Esquith. Now I will skip. I am now down to the last 30 minutes of our session. And I'd like to talk to you about my own strategies that I discovered through my 34 years inside the classroom and 90% of the time as class advisor. Even when I was principal of intermediate school, vice principal of high school, I insisted in Southridge to be a class advisor because I've seen very clearly the power, the influence, the impact that the class advisor can have on the formation of the students. And so I'd like to welcome you to my classroom as class advisor for many years. I was always handling grade 5 for many years. But on my last year in Southridge, that was in 2009, walang gustong kumuha ng grade 7D. So sabi ko, sige na, akin na yan. Anyway, most of them passed through my grade 5 class. But most of the time, I was handling grade 5, section B. So here's what I do, and I hope you can do something like this as we prepare for the new school year because we have the technology to do it. Even in online class setup, this can be done, and I think this should be done. Here's what I do. 1 week before the opening of the school year, I go to the registrar's office and I asked the registrar, can I have the email addresses of the parents in my class advisory? Because I'm going to send them an email 1 week before the opening of the school year. 3 paragraphs lang. Paragraph number 1, I will introduce myself to them. Hello, I'm the class advisor of your son. I finished MA in creative writing. I have PhD in literature. I have been teaching this many years. I'm one of the first graduates of the school. I assure them that I know what I'm doing because they need to know that. When you go to the dentist's office, what do you see at the waiting area? The diplomas of the dentist, the certificates of I don't know seminars and conferences they attended because they want to assure you, I know what I'm doing. Thank you for coming to my clinic. When you go to a doctor's office, what do you see at the entrance, at the waiting room? Their diplomas, their certificates. When you go to a lawyer's office, waiting room, what do you see? Their diplomas, their trophies, their awards, their recognition. They all want to assure you that they know what they're doing. When you enter the classroom, why is it that the teacher does not display his diploma, his certificates, his attendance to different seminars? Who says you shouldn't display them? Display them. Let the parents know that you are an expert. You have a degree. You are a successful teacher. Assure them that you know what you're doing. That's paragraph number one. Paragraph number two, I tell them how to contact me. My email address, my cell number, my telephone number and local number they dial, and the best time to call me. Now, some of you I know are allergic to the idea of your parents knowing your cell number. Don't worry, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just telling you I did it and it served me very well because the parents have a very easy time connecting with me, as I also have a very easy time connecting with them if I need their help or their support. I'm not telling you you should do it. I'm just telling you it did me a lot of good. So I tell them how to communicate with me. Paragraph number three, normally this is where I put in, oh, by the way, please make sure your son brings with him his PE attire on day one. And I will tell you later why. Oh, by the way, the class on the first Saturday after opening of the school year, the class will go to Enchanted Kingdom. And if you allow your son to join us, please make sure he submits on day one the reply slip below together with his payment. You know what? Many parents, some parents, appreciate it very much when they submit the reply slip with a payment. They don't just send payment for one, they send payment for two. They want to pay for my ticket. And two or three, four parents do that. Uy, may kumita pa ako. Meron na akong pang snacks. Eh, and some of them even write at the bottom of the reply slip, Mr. Rentoy, if you need a van, my driver can be available. Very nice. I mean, they've never seen a teacher like this. Hindi pa nga nagbubukas ang klase, reaching out to already to them, telling them, let's work together to make this a successful year for your son. It works. It works. It's a very fantastic thing. Now, on day one, my students come inside my classroom, I welcome them, and then I make them fill up right away an information sheet because I need to know, I want to know as many things about them on day one. And usually, hindi pa nagre-ring ang bell because that's how it is on day one, right? Students are excited to come to school. So, when they enter the classroom, it's already there on top of their desk. Naka-instruction, as soon as you get to your desk, please fill up the information sheet. I need to know their hobbies, their interests. I even need to know, I want to know as many things about their parents, their wedding anniversary, so we can greet them. Your father's name, birthday, job, cell number, office address, email address. And then I want to know about your brothers, sisters. Do you have? How old are you? How old are they? Which will let me know what position you are in the family. I get to know many things about my students even before the bell rings because I make them fill up the information sheet. Now, here is what you're going to see when you enter the classroom. Here's a strategy I'd like to share with you, and it has served me very well as a class advisor. Day one, after the introduction, the usual introduction, they will wonder what are those things hanging in front of the class. Those are the name tags of the students. Name on one side and blank on the other side. And I announce this to the class. Okay, class, welcome to grade 5B. Every time you contribute, every time you contribute to class unity, class prestige, or class honor, I am going to give a tag. I'm going to put a tag at the back of your name. A tag is just a small colored sticker. And every time you contribute to class unity, class prestige, class honor, you get a tag. And at the end of the quarter, the top five students with the biggest number of tags, meaning to say they were the ones who contributed the most to class unity, class prestige, and class honor, will be given certificates, students of the quarter. And at the end of the year, if there's budget, if there's enough money, I will even have a trophy made or a medal made or a plaque made saying student of the year of grade 5B. Okay, so for example, okay, class, The following joined us for Enchanted Kingdom over the weekend, thereby contributing to class unity. Everyone get, most of the time, of course, everybody is there, and everyone gets a tag because they contributed to class unity. And I put the tag, and you, it takes time, right? And the time that it takes me to put the tag, that the clapping turns into a genuine applause, and the applause turns into class cheering, class celebrating. The following students qualified for the varsity team, contributing to class prestige. And I announced the names. I put a tag at the back of their name tags. The following qualified for the Glee Club, the chorale, thereby contributing again to class prestige. I put a tag at the back of their names. The following students competed in the international contest. They deserve 3 tags each. And as I put the tags at the back of each student's names, the clapping turns into cheering, and the cheering turns into celebration. The class celebrating for the achievement of their classmates. There's no jealousy. They all genuinely celebrate the achievement of their classmates. But the biggest expectation of them is to study and study hard. So, class this quarter, students who make it to third honors will get 5 tags each. Students who make it to second honors will get 7 tags. And first honor will get 10 tags. And again, it takes time to put the 10 tags. And the applause turns into cheering, and the cheering turns into the class repeatedly reciting the class cheer. I love a class where they celebrate the success of one, of every single one achiever inside the classroom. And there, I have created a class unity, a class mindset, a class culture, a class virtue of celebrating achievements of their friends. They become best of friends. Okay, so it works. The recognition system, the giving applauses for achievers, it works. This is grade 5, section B. And so my students chose as the motto, be the best. It's written there in big bold letters, be the best. When they enter the classroom, that's what they see. And then on my last year in Southridge, as I said, I ended up taking 7D because nobody wanted to take it. Okay, anyway, I've handled them. Now, let me share with you things I do on day one, because that's one of the things we are supposed to be preparing for. According to research, on day one, in the classroom setup, on day one, 3 things are on top of the mind of every student. 3 things. Number one, am I in the right classroom? Number two, can I sit anywhere? And number three, who are you as a teacher? What kind of teacher are you? Are you going to be like those favorites of mine who took care of me? Or are you going to be like those terror teachers who hurt me, who made fun of me, who left a scar? Well, who are you as a teacher? Those are the 3 things on top of the mind of every student according to research. Am I in the right classroom? Can I sit anywhere? Who are you as a teacher? Now, hindi pa sila nakakapasok ng classroom, I make sure I answer all the 3 questions. Number one, am I in the right classroom? Well, you should know, I emailed your parents. Di ba? I mentioned to you earlier, last week, I sent an email to your parents. But, some parents are not able to put their email addresses in the enrollment form. Maybe your parents didn't receive the email. Maybe it bounced. But it's okay. Let's check the class list. Are you here? You're here. Congratulations. You're in the best class. Come in, come in. Hindi pa sila nakakapasok. I answered the question, am I in the right classroom? It's there. The class list is displayed. Question number two, can I sit anywhere? I know I have a seat plan here. I have a reserved seat for you. You see? And not only do I have a reserved seat for you, I have an assignment for you. I have a job for you to do. You see, you are in charge of the waste basket. Yeah. Your classmate, he will be in charge here of the decoration. This guy here will be in charge of absentee workload support. Yan, para pag may absent, he will take care of making sure the students will be updated. Somebody is in charge of collecting reply slips because class advisors should not be the ones doing that. And then this guy will be in charge of line marshals, of lockers, of this alignment of hindi pa sila nakakapasok, malinaw na ang mensahe. Here inside our classroom, everyone will have a role to play. Everyone will have a role to play. You have a role to play. You see? Hindi pa nakakapasok, the message is already very clear. We'll work together as a team. We'll work like clockwork, smooth operations. So, I answer already question number two. Question number three, who are you as a teacher? I answer it even before they enter the classroom because I follow the advice of Harry Wong. Harry Wong says on day one, you stand at the door to welcome students with your biggest, widest, fakest smile. And um, don't let anyone come in without you greeting them. So no one can enter except through me. And some of them I recognize. I approach them and I shake their hand and I say, congratulations, you're in the best class. Some others I approach, I've been waiting for you. You are so lucky to be in this best class in the school. I tell them all those lies. But they believe the lie. Because that afternoon they're going to go home excitedly telling their parents, Mom, Dad, I'm in the best class there is. Now, let me correct myself. Not that they believe the lie, they will make it happen. They will really make it the best class there is in Southridge, in the school. So, last year ko sa Southridge, grade 70, so hindi na be the best. And we chose our name, 5B Best Bets. That's the name that we chose. And the first year we did it, they broke all records of achievements and accomplishments. The following year, grade 5B, new students said, Sir, we want to retain the name 5B Best Bets, to live to that standard, to live up to that legacy of the previous class. And it was like that for year after year after year, 5B Best Bets. But on my last year, hindi na grade 5B, so naging 7D, we became the Daring Darters. And our motto is not anymore be the best, it's driven to excel. So, that is my classroom and I know some of you are thinking, grabe, dagdag trabaho yung mga yon. Is it worthwhile? When I was class advisor there, I had a personal agenda. I had a personal parang strategy. Um, I would organize things to keep them away from the computer games. I mean, early on, I saw how computer games is affecting their concentration, focus, and even character. And so I would organize all sorts of activities for them to get them out of the computer games. Enchanted Kingdom, while it's expensive, is far better with friends, spending a day with friends and enjoying the company of their classmates. That's far better than the whole Saturday of playing computer games. Sometimes we would organize an afternoon in fully booked in BGC, and fully booked owner is a graduate of Southridge and he would give us 15% discount. That's far better than a whole afternoon of computer games. Or sometimes we would spend a night out in school, camp out in school, playing basketball, futsal, dodgeball until midnight, water bombs tournament. That's far better than computer games. Or, as I said, spending the whole day with friends in Enchanted Kingdom, and we would have celebrations. Birthdays, we would celebrate. Birthday of the principal, we would celebrate in our classroom. It's enough for me to text three fathers or three mothers, telling them, Ma'am, sir, our class is champion in the spelling quiz B. We will have a lunch celebration on Friday. Can you help us? Yan. Tatlo lang ang te-text ko. And they will text the other parents. I'll take care of the pizza. Can you take care of the soft drinks? I'll take care of the hamburgers. Can you take care of the cake? I mean, it's not very difficult because the parents are just looking for ways to support, to help, to celebrate with the class. I mean, they know the achievements of the class and they just are too eager to support. So we would have birthday celebration, celebration for championship, celebration for achievements of the students. This was in Mall of Asia, Discovery, anything but computer games. Celebrate. Principle of James Tenson. Celebrate. Celebrate all achievements because if you don't, one day you're going to wake up and there's nothing to celebrate about anymore. Now, of course, all of us are asking, grabe, Mr. Rentoy, ang daming trabaho yan. Pati Sabado, may trabaho. May overnight, pati yon, dagdag trabaho. And our question is it worth it? I mean, in the first place, does it work? Well, okay, to answer the question, let me show you the websites of the class. You remember earlier on, I told you we would always have a class website. And this is what you're going to see in the class websites. To answer the question, does it work? Is it worthwhile? Okay, you will see here 5B there, the websites of 5B best bets through the years. PQF is Parents Quarterly Forum. In Southridge, we require the parents to come every quarter, 4 times a year, to attend parenting talks, to attend talks on how to help your son in virtues, on character, how to help your son in prayer. So one on spiritual, one on developmental, one on academics, and then the fourth actually is father and son activity. In many schools, they have a hard time getting the parents to come. In fact, in most schools I know, they have to dangle the report card. Come or else you will not be able to receive the report card. Not in my class, because my students will pressure their parents, Mom, please come, okay? I need you to come. And we would always get 100% attendance. The second PQF, 86%. But that's already better in the history of Southridge because other classes would usually have 40, 50%. Not mine. 86% means only 3. In a class of 25, only 3 parents have not been able to join us in the second. But first, I always got 100% attendance. I was invited to speak in one of the top schools there in the South with 5,000 parents. Sorry, 5,000 families. And I was told I'm going to give a talk to all the parents were invited. When I arrived in the auditorium, there were not even more than 250 parents. That's less than 1%. I mean, 250, 2,000, okay, that's around 5%. And that's very low. 5% compared to 100% or even 86% of parents coming. Schools have a hard time getting the parents to come, but not in my class when you have a system like this. In 5B Best Bets, 86% of our students are in the honors list. Again, meaning to say, in a class of 25 students, tatlo lang ang hindi nakapasok sa third honor, second honor, or first honor. It works. I mean, the answer is very clear. And it's not because we lowered our standards. No, it's because the students worked and worked hard to make it to the class list, to the class honors list. So, congrats, best bets, gala attire, 100% of the time. It's a record, it's an all-time high. I never have difficulties getting my students to um, co- participate in competitions. They go and they want to win. They compete to win another year, another batch, but still the same 100% attendance, PQF. Congratulations, we did it again. Of the 9 finalists in the book fair essay writing contest, 9 are from the 5B best bets. Wow, that's what it becomes when the class is working hard to contribute to class prestige, class honor, class unity. Cleanest classroom recognition, highest pointer for the Search for Class Excellence Award, the Wing System. We were given recognition for the Hospital ng Muntinlupa Outreach, the Enchanted Kingdom trip. This time around, 80% for the second PQF, but still 100% in the first one. So it works. The system works. That's the answer to the question, is it worthwhile? Does it work? Now, if you're from Southridge and then you see a list like this, you're going to say, oh, nakapasok ng principal's list. That's how we call the third honor, the principal's list. Nakapasok siya ng principal's list. Eh di ba muntik makick out yan last year dahil bagsak-bagsak yung subject? Not in grade 5B best bets. They work hard to even make it to the class honors list. Oh, naka-second honor yan? Eh di ba yan yung last year na suspend for misbehavior? Not in 5B best bets. When they're there, they try to be the best they can possibly be. So the answer is clear. It works. In a class of 25, only 3 did not make it. This is another year, another batch. So the whole thing works. Let me now end by sharing with you my vision for your class. That's the legendary 5B Best Bets and very memorable class. This is the first one that I ever handled. One of them would become the editor-in-chief of the Ateneo newspaper, the Gaidon. And one of them will become the editor-in-chief of the La Salle school paper. And one of them is now a television personality appearing on TV talking about wellness and health. I mean, the experience of Rafe Esquith, of his grade 5 students ending up being in Harvard, Stanford, Yale, can happen to your class if you are an effective class advisor, if you make an impact in the life of your students and not just covering the curriculum. Let me end by sharing with you the vision for your class. This is the vision for your class. If you are an effective class advisor, students are very proud to be in your class. Students are very happy to be part of your class advisory. In fact, they think the other classes are kawawa. Students from other classes envy your class. They want to be there. They even say, sayang, sana doon na lang tayo sa class ni Mr. So-and-so. Parents are so satisfied and confident with you because they know their class advisor genuinely cares for their children. They're just too eager to help you and support you in whatever way. You need a van, they will send a van. You need food for your celebration, they will send food for your celebration. You need, they are just too eager to be of support. The parent satisfaction comes especially from the realization that you are a role model for their child. Virtuous, upright, moral, high impact teacher. Parents and students speak highly of your professionalism, your punctuality, your firmness but fairness, your kindness, your positive attitude, that you bring out the best in their students. And then these parents become the number one marketer of your school. They will tell their friends, uy, lipat kayo sa eskwelahan na to. Ang galing ng school na yan. especially in the class of Mrs. So and so, Mr. Reyes, Mr. Batumbakal, Miss Acevedo. They talk about you every day over dinner. What did he say now? What did she do this day? They may have complaints and issues, but your presence, your attitude, your support all make the problems look trivial and insignificant. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Ay, Mr. Rentoy, ganyan ang class ko. Ganyan ang na-experience ko. Of course, because you've been very effective class advisors. I know some of you have been effective class advisors, and you know you've seen this happen. This is not just a vision, it's what has been happening in your classroom every year. Your students support you through and through, and the last thing they'd ever want is to upset you, offend you, or be in disfavor with you. They may lose trust in some teachers, in systems, in the curriculum, but your being their class advisor makes up for whatever shortcomings there are. And the parents are still able to say, it's still worthwhile to be in this school. You are the spirit of the class, the soul of the team, the magic behind the great class that it is. And the team spirit is so strong. Failure of one student causes sadness for the whole class. But success of one is great joy for the whole class. The name tag system I shared with you, that is what happens. They all celebrate because of one achiever. There may be misunderstandings among the students every now and then, but they're ready to forgive for the sake of class unity. This is the vision. This is what our classes can become, regardless of how our classes may have been last year, in the past years, or in the previous years. If there is anything that the school needs now to become a really great school, it is this: a set of effective class advisors who will transform your school to be an excellent one that everyone will be talking about. Our role is to produce men and women of character. The class advisors are the single most important factor for the school success in this task. Not the academic subject teacher, not the guidance counselor, and not even the principal. It's the class effective teachers who will make this happen. We teach them integrity when we come to class punctually every day, 2 minutes before start of the day, eager and ready, not dragging our feet. And then they learn integrity in the way we carry ourselves. They know that we are effective class advisors. They know that we are an exceptional teacher. This is the vision for your class. Well, we've come to the end of our session. I have shared with you the things I have picked up along the way in my 34 years inside the classroom, and it really has been a great honor for me to have been able to join you these 3 days. Once again, I'd like to thank the organizers. Thank you for inviting me to reach out to the teachers. And I hope to be able to see you again in some of our future seminars. I wish you luck in the new year that is going to start. Many are still full of fears, apprehensions, but no, we're going to face it with courage, with grit, with perseverance, with resilience, thinking especially of the young people who need us now more than ever. I mean, really, given the situation we find ourselves in today, the young people need us now more than ever, and we cannot turn our backs on them. Thank you very much to everyone, and I hope these 3 days have been fruitful and productive for you. Thank you.
Let us give our heart or clap react for Mr. Rentoy. Thank you, Mr. Rentoy, for sharing your expertise and character formation that we can use and apply concretely, not only on our own respective classrooms, but also in our schools as an institution and even as one cluster. Thank you very much, Mr. Rentoy. And to give our certificate of appreciation, may we call on Miss Maria Lourdes I. Torres, School Principal of San Isidro Catholic School.
Once again, thank you very much, Sir Rentoy, for that very powerful talk you have given to us. We are very much inspired, no? Ang dami namin ng gustong gawin. Actually, the GC of the faculty of San Isidro is very noisy. Having discussing things na planning things, no, for the opening of the school year. Thank you very much for that. And with that, we would like to show our gratitude and appreciation to you, sir. The Roman Catholic Archbishop of Manila Educational System awards the Certificate of Appreciation to Emmanuel Rentoy for having generously shared his time and expertise as resource speaker in the webinar entitled Transforming Your School Through the Power of Effective Class Advisory System and Strategies, to the administrators and faculty members of clusters 1 and 7 schools, given this ninth day of July 2021, signed by our beloved school director of clusters 1 and 7 schools, Reverend Father Maxel Lowell C. Aranilla, PhD. Thank you very much, Sir Rentoy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Torres. And thank you, our dear colleagues, for joining this webinar. Hopefully, all our principles, all our insights, everything that we have learned on this 3-day webinar be our catalyst in forming programs, routines, and other necessary moves for its application in our coming school year. Thank you very much for your active participation. And to end our webinar, may we call on Miss Michelle Maramag for the closing prayer.
Let us always remember that we are in the most holy, loving presence of the Lord. All together, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Prayer to Saint Joseph. O glorious Saint Joseph, model of all those who are devoted to labor, obtain for us the grace to work in a spirit of penance for the expiation of our many sins, to work conscientiously, putting the call of duty above our natural inclinations, to work with thankfulness and joy, considering it an honor to employ and develop by means of labor the gifts received from God, to work with order, peace, moderation, and patience, never shrinking from weariness and trials, to work above all with purity of intention and detachment from self, keeping unceasingly before my eyes death and the account that I must give of time lost, talents unused, good omitted, and vain complacency in success, so fatal to work of God. All for Jesus, all through Mary, all after thy example. O Patriarch Saint Joseph, such shall be our watchword in life and in death. Amen. Altogether, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Marama. Thank you to all participants, and thank you, Mr. Rentoy, for giving us your time and your expertise for this webinar. The evaluation form is now in our chat box. Kindly click it and accomplish it. Thank you very much and have a meaningful day. God bless everyone.
Thank you, sir. I hope you don't mind. We can do a bit of pictorials before we we close the meeting.
Sure po, sir.
You're invited to turn on your video so that we can see your biggest, widest, fakest smile which we will use to welcome our students on day one. I am now on page 2. I don't know what page you belong to, so just put on that celebrity smile. 1, 2, 3. Page 3 now. Let me just take this picture. 1, 2, and 3. Page 4 now of 7. There are 7 pages of us. 1, 2, smile. Page 5, the last 3 pages. You can turn on your video if you want. 1, 2, smile. Page 6. 1, 2, and smile. And finally, last page, page 7. 3, 2, and 1. Thank you. I really am very deeply honored for the privilege of being able to address all of you. I wish you luck in the coming school year. We continue praying that we get back to the real normal, not this so-called new normal, which is really, really very abnormal, but that we look forward to being able to get inside the classroom again to be with our students. Thank you, everyone. I will be ending this meeting in 5. God bless. Please take care of yourself. Stay safe. The recording will be available within an hour or so in our Facebook page. Many of you are already there. As well, the PowerPoint presentation I used is already posted. You can already download it. It's already available there. Bye, everyone. 3, 2, and see you again. Goodbye.